Hi, I'm KB with The Beat. How are you?
Hi, KB.
Let's dive right in. So, unshakable faith in the code and the union is really how Sheldon, kind of gets through every day and defines himself as the utopian. So, how does his son Brandon's actions fundamentally shift how he views the world and his role in this superhero space?
Well, I think he's instilled for so long this code, and that they don't kill, service, compassion, mercy. This is kind of the code, and we don't lead, we don't govern. And I think that he has this rigid sort of view of how they operate, and it's when his son actually they're in a situation where that code is really put to the test. And this is where KB, I had so many discussions with the producers and with the writers on this very subject, because this code to me was like so hard to wrap my head around. It's like, okay, I understand why we don't govern. You don't want, nobody should have that much power. And they're meant to serve. They're meant to, serve and protect and help whenever they can. But to not kill is something, obviously, I think that we can all agree on. But, there seems like there should be an exception to that if one of your loved ones is in trouble. I personally would take out anybody who's trying to take out my son. Or, if somebody was going to take me out, I would expect my son would probably do the same. But he doesn't believe that. And I think that is where a big sort of tectonic shift happens in his belief system. And he is sort of forced to question this thing that he's lived by for so long. And I think that's one of the cruxes of the show is this code. So, it's a hard thing to sort of wrap my head around. I think that he's learning that he needs to start evolving with the times. If, things are changing, you got to change with the times and start listening and hearing new ideas. And I think that's one thing Sheldon's starting to learn.
Yes, absolutely. And, you touched on it a little bit, but parenthood is actually really just a huge theme, obviously, for Sheldon's arc this season. So how do the sins of Sheldon's father impact the leader that he becomes? And did your role as Sheldon teach you as Josh, anything new about fatherhood?
Such a great question. Because I have talked a little bit about sins of the father and this whole thing, and having seen what his father did in front of him, and how, the trauma that caused, and how it's sort of manifesting even 90 years later in his own son. And as dark as it sounds, it almost feels like Sheldon has a death wish in a way. I think maybe he's been doing this for so long that he is ready to go out on a sword, ready to call it a day. And there's something tragic about it. That's what I love about this show, is there's a modern tragedy feel to it. And I think that he is in some weird way manifesting the same thing that he saw his father do. As far as me and how this has sort of informed me as a father, it's been a cautionary tale. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's obviously we're talking about much larger things in scope with Sheldon and the powers that they have and all this stuff. But when it gets down to it, the show's about family, and it's about being there for your kids. And if you get too all consumed in your work and you're not there for the simple things in life, you might lose your kids later on. And I think that that's one thing that he's learning. And for me, I personally learned from that, as much success as I'd like to have in this business, and achieve has always been kind of my thing. But at the same time, I'd rather, at the end of the day, when I look back on it, I'll be there for my kid and have him be able to connect with me,
Yep. Family first. Well, thank you so much for chatting with The Beat. I am really, really digging all of the family drama and the additional elements that come with the superhero genre space in this show. So I can't wait for everyone to see it. And thank you so much for chatting.
KB, it looks like you have like little horns sticking
I know,
out.
I know. They told me that in hospitality, and I was like, but the frame is so good. So now, I'm just going to have to do
Good,
it.
I like it.
Thanks so much.
All right, bye.
Bye.